So initially, again, just to recap, if the feeling of turbulence is very strong and you feel all this noise comes up, I will tell you something, in fact, sometimes inexplicably, and some sensation comes in the body like this, fierce, very strong, trembling, panic, even panic attack, it can manifest like this. Okay, that by itself, if left by itself, you can take it. It's just there. But what happens is, as soon as these feelings come, some interpretations begin to swim up around them. And it's this interpretation and judgments that's giving off a really bad smell. And this is habit. Because as soon as these feelings manifest, we begin to interpret that this means I'm not good enough. This means that, I need to concentrate more. I need to do something. And it brings in a busyness inside, agitation, judgment, all of this. And the environment becomes very hot. That sweet ambient is disturbed. You see? So if this feeling comes very strongly, shaking inside, trembling, and sometimes you cannot identify even the message in it that is anything about anything. Sometimes it's just this. But sometimes if you're quiet, you may find what is behind it, what is the story in this feeling. You see? Maybe something is expecting something to happen. So just be quiet first and find out who is suffering here, who is expecting something, and what is being expected. Be very quiet. There are not many questions you need to ask, but these questions will have some power in themselves. Sometimes when you ask who is suffering here, suddenly, it's like huge distraction. It is as though there's some force that doesn't want you to discover this, doesn't want you to see clearly. It appears like this. You're about to discover something that's very, very, who is the thief in this house you're coming to discover? Huh? And suddenly, the doorbell rings and somebody is selling Tupperware. Oh, hi, how are you? This, like something comes just to put you off the scent. Then you bring it back again. Get back on this question. You will see, even if there's strong distraction come, many times when these kind of questions come, you find yourself thinking about how many different things there are in muesli. It's like you can't focus. Huh? It's time to buy a new handbag and all this type of stuff. Huh? So you have to somehow say, whoa, wait a minute, what's happening? If I was thinking about something else, this distraction wouldn't be there. So this is already an indication you're onto something, you see. Who is suffering this? Just see if you can actually find if the sufferer is tangible. Because up until now it's feeling it's me and I'm here. It's like some tumor of identification. See if you can detect it. And in the very looking for this, tremendous power and energy is being released in this looking. And you are discovering nothing is there. I didn't want to say this. I prefer you tell me this. But because beings over all these centuries from all over the world have conducted this inquiry, and the finding is the same. No tangible sufferer is found, except as a thought. The sufferer is a thought. But it's a very persistent thought, a very intimate thought. You see, a very heavily sponsored thought that keeps the beingness in fragmentation, in fear, all of these things, you see. So keep up the inquiry like this. Sometimes you look, you find nothing is there, and now a great sense of relief. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. Don't finish your inquiry prematurely, because even relief now, find out who is feeling relief even. Those who have really looked like this, they've not given up. They will not be distracted from this question. And like this, so much power come again in the beingness. Because it's not that you're thinking, oh, there's nobody there. You are actually discovering there's nothing here. All the cells in your body and your being are discovering there's nothing here. You're not being told this. You're discovering for yourself, you see. This is the power of the inquiry. And the more you engage with it, the more ruthless it becomes, unsparing at exposing the ego. That you're not this. You can discard this. Always successful inquiry ends in space. Again, only space and peace is there. And joy. The inquiry becomes the bodyguard of the beingness itself. Nobody has to call it into play. It comes automatically, gradually, you see. There are different aspects of inquiry. I've just outlined a few of them. Sometimes the nature is just an open sense of acceptance that whatever is happening, it's okay. I spoke about this when I told you that a good attitude is the attitude, I don't mind. I don't mind what life brings, it's okay. Not I don't care, but I don't mind. I don't have to pick and choose. I'm not shopping for experiences. You remain as that neutral seeing. There's nothing greater than this. Now, if you're like this, you're in the environment of the sage itself. They are not concerned about what shows up. It comes and goes. Even they don't even register that anything shows up at all, even. If there is something significant, it will arise spontaneously to assimilate and to see through, and all the action, everything comes together. They don't act as an individual. Like this, you come out of it. You come out of this stupor. You come out of this coma of ignorant identification back in your original being. It's here, it's here. You don't have to go anywhere for this. It's your core truth. And all of this is simply peeling away at this cataract of illusory identification is being peeled just through your looking, even just by sitting here also, without the feeling that you're doing anything. Then there are moments when there's no inquiry. Even if you try to bring it in, it doesn't happen. Then you also respect this also. You're just learning to dance with yourself. All these moves, they are coming up by themselves, announcing themselves in the presence you are. Grace is there. Trust this. Sometimes you may leave from satsang with the impression, I don't even remember anything about this satsang at all. Because you're listening more deeply in a different way. It's a listening that bypasses the mind itself sometimes. It reaches inside the heart. The heart doesn't have to remember in the same way that mind has to remember. Mind remembers to make use of things. The heart doesn't have to make use of anything. It just shines. Mind works, heart shines.